Welcome to another episode of Speaking of Speaking. This is where we cash flow what you know. Now, we're going to be talking about proposals today. Proposals are not your pitch. Proposals are supposed to seal the deal, and they're not supposed to confuse your client. So let's talk about it. Many of you are out here sending whole proposals in a pitch. The first time that you ever meet somebody, you're like, hey, I could do this for you, this for you, this for you, this for you. In fact, many of you have probably gotten those things in your DMs, especially on LinkedIn. I get them all the time. I'm like, whoa, wait, hey, hello, how are you? Who are you? Don't know you. Why are you selling me something? So a pitch is, remember, go back and watch the videos about pitching. A pitch is to get their attention. So now you've pitched them the right way, you've gotten their attention. Not only have you gotten their attention, they've decided that they wanted to get on a call with you. So you get on a call with them, you have an entire conversation, and at the end of the conversation, they say, great, send me a proposal. How many of you, when they say, send me a proposal, you're like, no, I have no idea what to do. Here is where you can make or break this entire process. So a proposal, when a business asks you for a proposal, they're not looking for you to just, shoot them something. I'll just shoot you something in email. No, if they ask you for a proposal, they're thinking a real business proposal. And so you need to make sure that this is part of your process. This is part of your system. So I'm going to give you some little hacks today about how to make sure that your proposals look like the amount of money that you're going to be asking for. Because that's the other thing. Sometimes we send these proposals and we want $20,000, $50,000, $100,000. And it's like we wrote it on a napkin, like, here, pass that across the bar. That's not what they're looking for. They're looking for a proposal. But because you go into calls and you're not thinking that they're going to ask you for a proposal, you might be thinking that, oh, I'm going to talk to them and they'll just ask me what my fee is. I'll tell them what my fee is, and then we'll go from there. We'll just move into contract. No. You have to be prepared that they're going to ask you for a proposal. You may have an amazing conversation, and some of them, yes, will just close like that, and they'll say, send me your contract. But many of these conversations are going to end with them asking for a proposal. Why is that? Because many of the people that you're speaking to are not actually your decision makers. They are the people who gather the information, and then they have to go and communicate that to the people who are going to write the check. That's why those sales calls are so vitally important, and how you conduct those calls is really important, because you need all of the information, right, to be able to share with them exactly what you can do. And you need to be very clear about what you do so that you can communicate that to them. So here's a couple of things I want you to think about. If somebody says to you, great, I want to get on a call with you, and you're not sure if that's going to end with a request for a proposal or just going straight to contract, what I'm going to say to you is just always assume that it's going to be a request for a proposal, so that you're asking the right questions, that you're digging deep, you're finding out all of the information that you need to know. But I know that taking notes sometimes is a little hard, right? Not everybody knows how to listen and also take good notes. And it gets kind of, you might be taking notes, you're looking down, you're not listening, so you're missing some of the things. So here's what you can do so that you make sure that you capture everything. You want to record your calls. And again, that might seem a little bit weird to people, but here's what I do. When I get on the call, I'll just say to them, hey, are you okay with me recording this? I'm recording it just so that I make sure that I have everything. So when we're done, if I need to do a proposal, I have everything together. I'll have exactly what you said and what I said. It's just a way for me to keep track. Are you okay with that? Then I don't have to take notes and we can actually have a conversation. I've never had anybody say no. And you can tell them, this will not go anywhere. I'm not giving it to anybody. It's purely for my purposes. I have not had anybody say no. Here's why you really want to get the recording and not just your handwritten notes. Because we're going to leverage technology. We are going to leverage technology to help us with these proposals. Okay, so you have a great sales conversation. You get all the information that you need. They say, yes, can you please send me a proposal? You want to be able to have that proposal to them like within the next day. You don't want to be like, okay, great, I'll get one to you next week. No, by next week, they may have had another call. They may have figured out something else. Things, life be lifing. So you don't want to do that. So what you want to do is make sure that you say, yes, I can get that over to you tomorrow or within, the next 2 days, right? No longer than that. You want to make sure that you get them this proposal. Okay. So now they've said yes. You've recorded the whole thing, whether you're recording on Zoom, whether you're recording on StreamYard, I don't know, figure out, because you should have Zoom or some other way for you to be able to have video conversations, video sales calls, not just phone calls. I'm telling you, do that. Don't the phone. No, you want to see how people are reacting. They want to see you. They want to see, how you behave and what. So you want to make sure that you have a video call. Okay, great. So now you have Zoom or you have StreamYard. You're going to take that video. If you have certain levels of Zoom, for example, I have Zoom Enterprise. On Zoom Enterprise, it gives me a written transcript. If you don't have that, you can use stuff like, I think, Otter AI, Rev.com, I think that might still be around. And you can upload your, Cast Magic, which is like my favorite. And I'll drop all the links for the stuff. And the links I'm going to drop are my affiliate links. So just know that I'll get a small commission if you use them. But Cast Magic is a great one, right? So you can take, if you don't get the actual transcript from your recording, you want to get the transcript. Then what I want you to do is take that transcript and you're going to use, what I would use is ChatGPT. So you can use ChatGPT or maybe one of the others. I have not used any of the others, so I can't tell you what they do. I think Claude does it. I don't know. But I can tell you ChatGPT does it. And you can use the free version, but I would say at least get the $20, get the $20 version. Anyway, so what you're going to do is take that transcript and you're going to upload that into, you can either copy and paste it or you can attach it in ChatGPT. And you're going to talk to ChatGPT and you're going to tell ChatGPT that you need to create a proposal for this particular client. It's about, and think about, help chat out because it can't read minds. Tell it, is it a keynote proposal that you're creating? Is it a workshop? Is it a consulting agreement? Tell chat the type of proposal that you are creating and tell chat you have attached or you're going to attach the transcript of your conversation. And you want chat to help you to create a proposal. And in that proposal, you want it to have certain sections. So you may say that you want it to have like just an introduction. So saying, thank you for the call. So like a brief, thank you for allowing me to, send this proposal to you. Then you might want to have a short overview of the conversation. As we discussed in our call today, blah, 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 blah. Here's our proposal. So you want to have an overview. You want to have how you're going to deliver. What is it that you're going to deliver and how you're going to deliver it? So, we talked about your leaders needing training around communication skills. And here's how, I best think that we can serve. We're going to do a keynote. We're going to do a workshop. We're going to do whatever. So you want chat to help you to lay out what it is that you are going to provide. So you can call it the services, you can call it the deliverables. I don't care what you call it, but you want that specifically laid out as to what it is that you're going to deliver. You may even also talk about or have chat, depending on how the conversation went, align what it is that you're delivering with some piece of the conversation. That way the client knows that they were really heard, that you were paying attention, and that this proposal is not just something that you took off the shelf and that you send to everybody else. This is really a customized proposal. You want to then also include in that proposal your pricing. Do not just say, well, it's around. No. What is the specific price that you are charging for whatever it is that you're proposing? And make sure that it is a price that makes sense. Makes sense based on the transformation that you're promising, makes sense based on your expertise, makes sense based on the problem that you're trying to solve. Many of you are pricing so below what anything, because you're afraid that if I go too high, they're not going to hire me. No, if you go too low, they're not going to hire you, because they realize, especially in the corporate space, they realize that you don't understand the magnitude of their problems. If they have a 6-figure problem and you're telling them that you're going to do all this, right? You're going to do a half-day workshop, and you're going to give them workbooks, and you're going to do all these things. And then they get to the price and it's $2,500. They know that you don't understand what's going on. You don't have a clue. You will go on that proposal will go in the garbage. They won't even respond to you. They'll just be like, no, thank you. We're good, because you don't understand the problem. Price it in a way that lets them know that you understand the problems, and that there is truly going to be a transformation. Now, caveat to that is that you must be able to deliver on at least that value, right? Your goal is to deliver at a higher value, but you must be able. So if you are trying to get a $20,000 contract, a $50,000 contract, a 6-figure contract, you must be able to deliver at that level. You can't come in there janky. And, the way that you put the proposal together can't be janky either, because if you're putting together a 6-figure proposal and it looks like crap and it doesn't have anything, you're just out of the game. The other thing you might want to include in your proposal is testimonials. If you have testimonials that relate to the services that you are putting in that proposal, you might want to put testimonials in there. You don't want it to be too long, but you do want it to have enough information that, one, most importantly, the client sees that you heard them, right? And that the conversation wasn't in vain. And especially if you've asked them for permission to record it, and then your proposal is just like all over the place because you just decided to just do what you wanted to do, that's going to be a problem. So you want to make sure that they feel that they were heard. And going back to what I was saying about the person that you were having the conversation with not necessarily being the decision maker, the proposal is the way that you make them look brilliant, right? So when the decision maker starts asking them questions about, well, why should we pick this person? And what are they going to do for us? And well, how much is this going to cost? And what are the options? You've given them the playbook. So the proposal is their playbook because they are your advocate. When they're not the decision maker, when they're not the person who's going to be writing the check, their role is to be your advocate. And the easier you make their job to be able to go sell you and sell what it is, and instead of being like, oh man, I don't remember what they said, but they did say something like, I got to go back and ask them. Let me follow up with them. You're out. At that point, you're out. But imagine putting together a beautiful proposal that answers all of their questions, that sets you up as the expert, the thought leader that you are, shows them how it is you're going to solve their problem uniquely with your frameworks and your processes and your systems, and the outcome that they're going to get on the other end. You've answered their questions, and this is why it costs this amount of money. Now, talking about beautiful proposals, I'm extra. I'm a little, extra. So I use Canva and I design my proposals. I make them beautiful. Why? Because when I submit proposals, I'm asking for a lot of money. A lot of money. So it's got to look like money. Right? It's got to look like money. So those are some of the things I just wanted to share with you about proposals. One, record your calls, ask for permission, record your calls. Two, get that call transcribed, right? So use one of the services to get it transcribed. Three, upload that transcript to chat or one of the other AI things that can help you. Have chat help you to craft that proposal based on the content of that transcript, and don't just take what it spits out to you. Really read it, make sure that it reflects you, that it reflects what you want to do, that it reflects your voice. Four, once you're satisfied with what you get in terms of the content for the proposal, you can use something like Canva, like I do, and really design a beautiful, beautiful proposal. The fifth thing that you can do is once you have the proposal and you're going to send it over to the potential client, what you can do is record a quick video walking them through. So you can use, again, you can use Zoom, you can use StreamYard, you can use Loom, you can use all kinds of things, right? Just walk them through and don't make it very long, just a quick walkthrough and just, let them know if they have to go discuss this with anyone and they have any questions before they do that, let them know that they can reach out to you. So that's the way to really set yourself up and position yourself as a business that they want to do business with, and that they're not shocked when you say, my price is whatever that price is, 5 figures and above. Okay? Easy. We're gonna make these videos just very simple. Make sure that you get what you need, right? So that you can get in and get out. So that's what I would tell you to do for your proposals. I've done it. It works. I don't tell you anything that doesn't work. I don't tell you to do things that I haven't done. So there you go. There's your proposal process. Let me know what you think in the comments, and make sure that you subscribe to the podcast so that you never, ever, ever, ever miss an episode, and then share it. Share it with a friend. Don't let friends be out here just, in these speaking streets, just looking like who did it, who done it. That's not what we do around here. All right, y'all. So if you're ready to cash flow what you know, make sure that you subscribe. Make sure that you're always tuned in. Make sure that you drop comments, ask me any questions, and also make sure that you subscribe to our Speaking of Speaking newsletter. You can just go to @sosnewsletter.com. Every Saturday, I send out a newsletter with more weekly insights, behind the scenes, all kinds of things that are going on that I don't talk about necessarily on the podcast or in my social media posts. So you're like an insider. You get things, and sometimes you get things before everybody else does. So get there, sosnewsletter.com. Can't wait to see you all in these media streets, these social media streets. And until next time, take care.